How we doing? We doing good? Not me. I'm stuck. Not stuck, but train tracks down there. Train went by, so now I got 3 miles of cars coming. So I'm just sitting here, chilling, talking to you guys. I know it's been a little bit since I posted something, but I've been on nights. Oh shit! I found an opening. I've been on nights doing these damn McDonald's. Makes it hard to make a video at nighttime, Me and my boy doing these McDonald's. I fucking hate McDonald's. He should be ready though. He can start doing them next go around. But where do we leave this story off at? It's been like damn near a week, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, good old Judge Collier sends me to 110 days, no time served for my first probation violation for absconding. This time when I went to jail, it was like 4.5 months or so, that's when I met Bigelow, dude I was telling you about. Not Bam Bam Bigelow either. The dude I was telling you about, I told him that joke about Akeem Awit. He was a little mad at me. That was during that time. Actually, when you go to, here's the thing though, like when you go in and you're there and you start like, your bunky's the first one you meet, and it's almost like because you're there and you're locked in with this guy for however long, depending. So every jail's different, like I've been in jails where you're in your cell by yourself. Usually it's city jails like this, where you're just locked in your cell 24 hours a day. They let you out every other day for 20 minutes to take a shower. They bring you your meals. You're just sitting in there. The TVs are on the outside. They got like so many TVs on the wall on the outside, and you just watch what's on there or read. It's horrible. And you can talk to the people. If there's people in there with you, city jails usually aren't very full. You can talk to them because it's open, like old school, like fucking bars and shit. And then I've been to county jails where it's like a dorm setup, depending on what wing you're in, where you're in your rack, and then after breakfast it's just open. It's just day room. There's no lockdown, no. They might have you go stand by your rack for count or whatever during shift change, but that's about it. Edina County Jail isn't like that. Like, they do have, like, dorm rooms where it's, like, open, but still there's, like, an open area over here, and all the racks are over here, and there's nobody above you or below you. It's just single beds split in two and, like, these cubicle-type things, like these brick cubicles. But they still lock down. Like, this is what they call it. So it's like, once you get into the routine, the days go by. So it was like, you got up early in the morning for breakfast, like 6:30 or 7. Then they locked you back down. Then you got back up for cell cleaning inspection. Then they locked you back down. Then they let you back out for anywhere between like 9 and 10. It was up to them, right? Then you were out in the day room. Then you would eat lunch at like 11:45. Yeah, like 11:45. Then you would lock down, right? Then they would do shift change at like 2:30. Then after shift change, you would get out at like 3:30. You'd eat dinner at like 4:35. Get locked back down right after dinner. Then you'd be locked down till 7. Because then shift change came again, right? Is that how it was? 3 to 7, 7 to 11? I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's been so long. If I really thought about it, I could remember. Then you got locked down for shift change again. Or you got locked down after dinner for a couple hours. Is that a beat? on Sunday. Then you got out of lockdown, and then you were out of lockdown until like 10 o'clock-ish, I want to say, and then you got locked back down for the night, and then, you know, your night was over. Like, but yeah, you got locked down twice before, like after each meal they locked you down for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever it was. So you got a lot of nap and reading time in. But yeah, so because you're locked down with this person in your cell, like you're talking to them or you're reading a book, so that's kind of like the first person you meet, and you know, you kind of stick with that guy maybe, or if he's been there a while, he's got a group of people he hangs out with, and you try to keep your circle somewhat small. You know, don't get involved into the bullshit politics, because it's really what they are. But then the longer you're there, it's harder to keep your circle small, because you meet this person, that person, and yeah, you're in there with criminals, right? I wasn't in a state penitentiary with nothing but murderers. Yeah, there was guys in there waiting to go to court on murder, but most of that, like if they were super violent, they were over in segregation. They wouldn't put you in G-pop. But yeah, I mean, most of it was like petty bullshit. DUIs and domestic violences and, you know, small-time thefts. Like, there was some guys that they would bring in from prison because they had more charges coming to them. But you meet these people, and it's like the first time I went in for them 53 days for the beginning of like the whole sentencing thing to go on probation. I met this dude named Bob, right? Nice kid, can draw like a motherfucker. If you can draw in there, you can make money, because you can be like, you know, give me 2 envelopes and I'll draw, or give me 3 envelopes, I'll draw on one and send a pretty envelope, give you this pretty envelope, then you can send it off to your girl or your kids, you tell me you went on it, and then you get 2 free envelopes for your letters, or you could trade those lopes for a soup or a candy bar or whatever, or trade your services away too. Like, look man, I'll draw you 2 sweet ass envelopes to send a letter home to your old lady, and you give me a soup, right? It's a hustle. You gotta have some kind of a hustle if you don't have money. You got to. Or else you're gonna eat what they give you, and although some of the food is edible, it's just not enough. And you eat dinner so early, you're still hungry. And I'm fat, so I like food. But anyway. And then, you know, you want something to throw down on the break. If you don't know what a break is, that's when you take ramen noodles and you blow them up, because, you know, there's a microwave. You get one person, everybody throws something in, no matter what it is. Yo, you got wraps, you got cheese, you got chili. Everybody has to bring in their own soup, right? Then you put it in a garbage bag and you mix it all together, and it's fucking amazing, right? So anyway, you wouldn't think it is, but it fucking is. So anyway, so I met this dude, and while I was in there with them, right, he was in there for domestic violence on his girl. Well, they were still writing back and forth. I guess they really weren't supposed to be. But she told him, like, hey, look, I'm always going to love you, but I'm moving on with my life. We can't be together, blah, blah, blah. While he was in there, she met this dude that was an over-the-road truck driver, and she was out on a route with him or whatever. He wrecked his rig. She went out the passenger window, and the truck fell on her noggin. Right? Horrible. Right? He got the news in jail, right? And he was all like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, he was pretty broken up about it, but then he got over it. He's like, she was my ride home. I said, dude, I'll come get you. When's your out date? I'm getting out before you. I'll be here. He was like, for real? I was like, dude, I swear to God. And this is the thing. You meet all kinds of people in there, right? All different types of peoples. And some you become friends with while you're there. You know what I mean? And you'll hear people like, oh yeah, we're going to hang out on the outs. We're going to do this on the outs. I'm going to come see you on the outs. I'll write you letters when I get on the outs. Blah, blah, blah. Outs. None of that shit happens, right? maybe they'll write you one letter. You know what I mean? Other stories are like dudes be like, hey man, can you please go tell my old lady this? She won't answer my phone calls. And then he gets out, and the dude he sent over there is banging his old lady now. Like, careful of that shit. You don't know who these people really are. Well, I told him, like, hey man, I'm gonna come get you. I bought a phone card. I said, here's a phone card. You call me a week before you get out. I'll take the day off work. I'll be here in the morning when you walk out those doors. And he was like, all right, man. And I could tell he was kind of like, this is dude for real. I said, don't make no plans. We'll kick it for the whole day. And sure as shit, I took the day off of work. Me and my little brother went and picked this dude up from jail. Kicked it with him for the whole day. I took him to his ex-old lady's house so he could get his property that he had, that she still had of his. I took him to his dad's house. I took him, we just hung out all day. Spent the day with the dude. I dropped him off at his cousin's. They had a good old time. You know what I mean? I hung out there with him for a little bit. I went home. And then I kept in touch with the dude. Like, I just talked to him a couple months ago. Like, here and there, he'll just shoot me a message on Messenger or something. Like, but that's just the kind of person I am, I guess. If I give you my word, I'm going to do my best to follow through with it. But anyway, this time I was in jail, same thing. Like, I met some pretty cool people. One of the people I met was this little dude named Culver, Jerry Culver, right? He was a welder from Indiana. And he was in there for, I don't even remember what for. And he said he also had like federal cases for some reason. Something to do with child support, like, because they're in 2 different states or something. I don't know. But anyway, this dude's cool as fuck. Well, he was on a diabetic diet, right? And I would buy him certain things on commissary that he wasn't allowed to buy. And he would buy me phone cards, or he would buy me, other stuff. Like, they got like a different commissary list, so you could get these big bags of Jolly Ranchers that nobody else could get. So he would buy me Jolly Ranchers. Perfect. Jolly Ranchers and root beer barrels. Hard candy's the way to go when you can't have cigarettes, because I was a cigarette smoker then. And it's, man, who else did I meet there? There's Bigelow, this big Puerto Rican dude everybody called Poppy. I don't know. I was in there for so long in this pod where most people are coming in and out. They're gone within a week or two. You got your weekend warriors, the guys that got to do like 10 weekends for their second DUI, shit like that. And yet, that's, so there's people in and out all the time. Well, after you're in there for so long, and other people have been in there for so long, they have a TV in the day room. And the COs would ask, what do you want to watch? Miller, what do you want to watch? And I'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to watch this today. And it was like I became the podfather, right? Because I was in there for so long. It's like the people that were in there longer than me left. And then I was like the longest running guy in there. I just met a lot of little people, like a lot of cool people. And then, I got out. And I went home. And my kids were still at home, and their mom was all fucked off. And yeah, I guess we'll just, leave it there. When I got home though, I did the same thing I did last time. See, it's like history repeating itself. Like, when I got out, I had a check, I had some money on my books. Same thing I did when I did my 53 days. And it was like, I can't wait. I've been out. I've been clean for 4 months. I just want to get high one time and go back to work. But it never works that way. That's the problem. Like, the addiction holds you, and it never works that way. So you get out and you go get high that one time. You go to work and you make money, And then you're like, oh man, it's been a couple weeks. Then you go get high again. And you say, oh man, it's been a couple weeks. And then you go get high again. And then, oh man, it's been a few days. I had a bad day at work. I hurted myself. I think I'll go get high today. And then it becomes an everyday thing. And then before you know it, you're back in it. You know, and this time when I got out, I got in it deep, way deeper than I wanted to. And it was like, I met connections that I never thought I would meet. And yeah, shit got crazy before I had my second probation violation. And we'll keep it short. Like, it's only been like 15 minutes, but then I'll try to do the next part. I guess it would be part 6. Yeah, that one might be kind of long because shit gets a little crazy before I go back in on my second probation violation. And, yeah. Life was good and bad at the same time. I hope you guys are all doing well. And, Jesse, I hope, my mom's calling me. So I guess we'll end it there. But, Jesse, I hope you're sticking to it and doing good. All right, later.